It was such a long journey that it's almost like feels unreal to that point where I'm like, this can't be happening. The pain definitely was, I guess debilitating is probably maybe the best word. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was just like stuck. One thing I'm most proud of is that I didn't give up.
Born and raised in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, Sidney Barbier was on skis as soon as she could walk.
Come on, Indy. Go get her. Go get her.
I was in a Little Cruisers program since I was able to be in that program, one of the youngest. It was just always part of my life.
She comes from a large line of skiers. It's in her blood, it's in her family, and a big part of her life.
In high school, Sidney competed in the U.S. cross-country junior nationals twice. An impressive feat, but an even bigger accomplishment given she was skiing through excruciating pain in her abdomen.
I would get these sharp, sudden stabbing pains that I didn't, would take me out for a little while. And the biggest thing with the pain that was confusing is it would come in episodes. I'd be fine one day, the next day I would be, doubled over in pain.
She's still trying to go to school. She's still trying to be a kid, and she couldn't be, and she missed out on a lot of stuff. We just kept going to doctors and trying to figure things out. And then it got really hard as we couldn't figure it out, because then it became this unknown. They just couldn't find anything. And so we just had no answers.
For nearly 7 years, doctors misdiagnosed Sidney's condition. She underwent colonoscopies, a gallbladder removal, and numerous other procedures. But nothing helped with the pain.
I can't even tell you how many different diets my poor daughter had to go through. All these liquid diet, and then she's gluten-free, and then she's dairy-free, and then she's which was never even the issue.
A lot of doctors asked me to keep a pain journal, actually what was happening, when it was happening. To see the words that I used was I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. Nothing will help me. No one can help me. There was points where I was I don't want to see another doctor. I don't want to see another specialist. I'll just be done and live with it. But that's when, also my mom was no, you can't do that. You can't live that way.
In college, Sidney earned a spot on the ski team at the University of Denver, double majoring in environmental science and music. When the pain seemed overwhelming, the viola provided an outlet.
It was nice to have something that was separate from my world of skiing when sometimes I felt like a failure, or I was letting the team down, or I was letting my coaches down, or I was letting teammates down, and I could be okay, I still have music.
It's really hard when you're in so much pain and people don't understand. So I think she just held it all in, but she was able to get it out in her music.
Finally, in December of 2023, a visit to the Cleveland Clinic changed Sidney's life.
By the time patients come and see me, just like Sidney, they've already been through a lot of investigations, a lot of sometimes even unnecessary procedures. When she came to see me, she was I want to get back to my life. I want to be able to do the things I wanted to do, or were able to do in the past.
Doctors diagnosed Sidney with nutcracker syndrome, a rare condition that suppresses the renal vein, affecting how blood is drained from the kidney. She faced one more surgery, a first of its kind in the world, and one she hoped would be her last.
At that point, I think I was, desperate, maybe is the right word, to have that done, but also extremely terrified to have another surgery.
The hope, that was the hardest part. We get our hope up, I didn't know what we were doing. I just knew she couldn't live like this anymore.
Typically, for renal vein transposition, it's done via an open approach, which would be a midline incision. Sidney was the first case in the world to have that approach with the single port robot. The main benefit would be faster recovery, less pain, and she did remarkably well.
The surgery was a success. As a senior, Sidney competed without abdominal pain for the first time since she was a freshman in high school.
Obviously, so happy that I found an answer. It did feel a little bit validating to be okay, it wasn't because I was eating gluten and not being healthy or being too stressed and doing too many things. The validation was pretty great to have.
In June, Sidney graduated with a 4.0 GPA and finished her career with 8 top 20 results in her conference.
I'm so grateful that she was able to keep pushing and pushing and advocating for herself. She just wanted to prove to herself that she wasn't going to give up.
What I learned from Sidney is that you can do everything you want to do. You can have the biggest wall in front of you, but you can just keep pushing and nothing can stop you.
She went through hell. It was horrible, and I have no words. I have no words for how proud I am of her.
The biggest thing that I am proud of is that I had, the motivation to keep advocating for myself, and the fact that I didn't give up despite everything that seemed to be against me at the time.